Hey guys, it's time for our next War Tactics video. This episode will be on how to effectively scout out a base. This step is sometimes overlooked when preparing for an attack, and you can ruin your chances at a 3-star victory. So, what do you look for when you're scouting out a base? Number one, you'll want to look for trap placements. Traps include Teslas, giant bombs, and even sometimes you can predict where the spring traps are. Number two would include hero placement. Things you'll want to ask yourself are: how easy is it to get to the Archer Queen? How quickly can I get to the Archer Queen? Where will the Barb King be at the end of the hog attack? And where will the Archer Queen stop once she starts engaging in her attack? The third thing you'll want to scout is what army would work against this style of base. Is the base you're looking at compact, open, spread out? Is there a centralized air defense? Are the air defenses along an outside part of the core? Is there a hog ring? Those are the things that you're going to want to look for. What we are doing here is why using net bases is not a good idea for your war base. If you saw it online, then most likely many others have seen that base too. That means they will also know where you most likely will put your traps. So let's pull up a couple bases and see what we can scout. So let's start off by looking at this base. The first thing you want to do is you want to go through and start to identify where Teslas and giant bombs can be. And those are only located in these 2x2 spots. So 2 cells by 2 cells right there. 2 spots possible there. Here are 3 because we have 6 tiles wide. And we have 1 possible spot there. These are really easy to identify just simply by counting the number of squares that are between the walls. There are also a few other spots in this base that there could be giant bombs and Teslas, and let's highlight those with yellow. They are here. However, these spots that are right around these army camps are not good spots for Teslas and giant bombs because these are places that your troops wouldn't path to naturally. So especially if you're thinking about giant bomb placement, these spots would not be effective. Giant bombs are really effective against hogs, and you want those to be between defensive structures. So we can go ahead and kind of eliminate these spots here. Teslas typically end up being on the inside of a base. So if we look at these spots that we have here and highlight a few of them with, let's say, blue, Teslas at Town Hall 8 could be 3, so we would probably want to put those deep inside the base. Well, there's 2 of the deepest spots here, right? And we could also go, let's say, a Tesla here, and that would leave 3 potential double giant bomb spots left. Why are double giant bomb spots so worrisome? It's because if you've got a pack of hogs, they travel over 2 giant bombs at the same time, poof, you have bacon. So that's why you really need to practice scouting out a base for these possible spots. Once you've gone through and discovered where the possible spots for Teslas and giant bombs are, the next thing you want to look for are possible spots, where the heroes are located. And in this case, your king is located right over here. Why is this important? Because let's say this is a base that has an Archer Queen. You need to know whether or not you can get to her quickly, whether you can get to her easily, or where you need her to be to take her out, plus let's say the enemy clan castle or maybe an air defense. So those are things you need to be worried about too. Where are your heroes? After you've discovered all of these things, you need to figure out what army composition would be best for this. So for example, let's take a look at hogs against this one. Would I personally use hogs against this base? No, because we have the potential for 3 double giant bomb spots in these locations. Is it possible to defuse them? Absolutely. And the way you do that is you start by sending in 1 hog about in this spot, and he's going to path either straight to there, or he's going to path straight to here. What's lucky about this is if you send the hog in at the right angle, it's possible that he could step on one of these giant bombs and trigger it, diffusing the other set. Sending in 1 hog like this also is going to let you know where the Tesla is in this mix. Now let's say you decide, well, the double giant bomb spots are a little too problematic for me. I'm not set up to handle them. What if I came in with dragons? Well, knowing where the air defenses are, being here in this center part of the base, and the Teslas being rather centralized, I know that I could probably take out one of these air defenses, which is located rather deep, and then come in from this side of the base with dragons. I would be able to take out the base with relative ease. So this is why scouting a base is so important. Let's go ahead and take a look at another base and see what we can do about scouting that one. Let's take a look here at this base and figure out where our traps could be, thinking of Teslas and giant bombs. Looking for those 2x2 spots, and this one is really easy to see where those 2x2 spots are. And I love these symmetrical bases because it makes it really easy to predict where these 2x2 spots could be on either side of the base. We're at Town Hall 9, so we know we have 4 Teslas and 4 giant bombs. We have 8 spots highlighted. It's a really good indicator that these spots are where those traps are going to be. Next thing you need to decide are which ones are giant bombs and which ones are Teslas. Remember, you want to try to put giant bombs between defenses. So look down here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 defenses. So this is most likely a giant bomb spot. Sorry for the sloppy handwriting. Same thing on this side, we have 4. So this is probably a bomb spot there. We have defenses here. So that means this is probably a bomb spot. And we probably have the same thing over here, which means these up here are most likely our Teslas. The other thing we want to come in and look for is our heroes. 1 here and 1 here. So if you're needing to take out the enemy archer queen, the side that you'd want to come in on would be over on the right side over here. Why would you want to come in this way? Well, it's because the archer queen is going to come out and stop probably right about there. So if you come in through this compartment, bust a hole through it, send in your Barb King in this way, it's going to engage and take out that enemy archer queen. So this is a relatively easy way to take out the enemy archer queen. The other great thing also about this is look where the enemy clan castle is, right? And it has a pull radius of about like that. So once the troops get into this compartment here, you're going to get the clan castler, you're going to take out the enemy archer queen as well. And since you are in this range, if you get in closer over here, if this is a Tesla, it should pop once it reaches about that range or so. So then you could probably get a good indication of whether that was a Tesla or a giant bomb simply by what troops went by it and what didn't happen in that gap. So let's go ahead and take a look at a replay of this attack and see if we guess correctly on each of these spots. So let's take a look at Miguel's attack on this base. One of the things I want you to keep in mind is where we thought the Teslas and giant bombs were. He's going to start off with his golem attack over on the right side just to start taking some of the damage, while the wizards go around over on the right side and start doing cleanup. Taking out some of these trash buildings. Why is this important? Because if you drop your heroes at this point in time, they're going to start targeting these other structures instead of going in to act as your kill squad. Once the wall breakers busted through the wall, the queen saw that as an attack, jumped over the wall, and is now engaging the golems. This is a perfect time to send in your kill squad. Notice that the kill squad also started to draw the enemy clan castle troops out, so he dropped the poison to deal with those. Remember the giant bomb spot over on the right side we thought was going to be there? Well, notice it didn't pop, so therefore we know that it's a giant bomb instead of a Tesla. The Tesla did pop at one of the top 4 2x2 spots, so we can already at this point assume that over on the left side are the same placement of giant bombs and Teslas. Because Miguel was effective in the way he could remove the defensive structures on the right side, we knew that that right giant bomb spot wouldn't ever be an issue anymore. One giant bomb spot did trigger on the left side, and as those hogs move up the base on the left side, he's going to be able to pull the Tesla, which is a mirror from the right side of the base, and we can assume that those top 4 spots are going to be either Teslas or giant bombs. In this case, the Dino tried to trick us and put his skeleton traps in one of those 2x2 spots. What does that mean? That is probably going to be the same on the right side because this is a symmetrical base, and that means that the giant bombs are going to be on the outside. Look over at the right. That little Larry triggered one of the giant bombs on the outside, so that means on the left side is going to be the exact same giant bomb spot. While this person didn't go with a typical placement for giant bombs and Teslas. As your attack progresses, you can go through and better predict the base because it's a symmetrical base, and that's a little bit of a design flaw. Try not to be predictable so that way your attacker doesn't always know where their traps are going to be. So, when scouting a base, step 1, look for giant bombs and Tesla spots. Number 2, look at where the heroes are. Number 3, decide what army you should use based on where you think those traps are and where the heroes are located. Hope you guys got something out of this. Don't forget to scout the base. If you forget to scout the base, you could be in a world of hurt. This is Eureka Havoc from Mercs Legion, helping you to clash and scout without fear.